What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. I got some very spicy news for you today, so let's get right into it. XRP Crypto Wolf posted this: rising inflation fear has spurred a boom for safe haven assets like precious metals and cryptocurrency. You better bet your bottom dollar that that's happening. A lot of people are flocking to um, hard assets, something with limited quantity, because they don't like what politicians are doing. They're running up the printing machine like it's a toy. We've literally created 35 to 40% of all US dollars. And that's insane. I'm just waiting for hyperinflation to kick in the near future. So if you're not invested into hard assets, then, I would be concerned. Also, I went over Gresham's Law in one of my videos, in which I stated that the bad money is going to drive out the good money. And so if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It says, and the Federal Reserve has created a quarter of all the US dollars ever issued in less than 12 months to help the economy during the outbreak. And so I'm pretty sure it's a little more than 25% as of late after all these stimulus bills and whatnot. Real XRP Boy posted this by Mike Green. We've been showing a lot of Mike Green because he has been dropping some bombs. Let's see what he has to say here.
But I also don't think that the institutional investors who are buying Bitcoin believe that that's even a consideration. Do you think that they're buying Bitcoin because they think it might be the replacement for the US dollar? Or is it just because it's something that, for whatever reason, seems to have a lot of capital flowing into it? Let's play this momentum trade and make a buck on it while it's working.
And I would assume, here's the thing, I would assume a lot of people who are getting into the space because they heard of Bitcoin, they're trying to make a quick buck. Now, people who have been in it for a longer period of time, I believe, may see it as a replacement. I don't know how, if it's too slow to be able to do those kind of transactions at that speed and with the magnitude of transactions that would take place. I don't know how that would be possible, but he's making a good point here. And I'm Legion posted this by Jim Rogers, and I thought this was pretty funny. Check this out.
How it's all going to end, I have a different view, but in the meantime, I'm not going to rain on their parade. I'm not even at the parade, so more power to them as long as they get out
As long as they get out on time. So, does he know something that we know? We don't? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. But you'd have to assume that people um, that are well connected have an idea as to what's going on. And so, I don't know, might be worth paying attention. And in other news, Mark Carney, huge announcement today at the core of a global asset management industry managing over $32 trillion in assets, is committing to addressing climate change and delivering the goals of the Paris Agreement. Netzero asset managers. Well, isn't that interesting, huh? So we see all these institutions, we see all these hedge funds, we see uh, banks getting involved with this net zero climate change agenda. Excuse me, and it's becoming a mainstream narrative. And so it's here: Net Zero Asset Managers Initiative triples in assets under management as 43 new asset managers commit to net zero emissions goal. And you won't believe who's on this list. Let me show you right here. Larry Fink, Chairman and CEO of Blackrock, and he says the asset management industry plays an important role as an advisor at the nexus between asset owners and corporations. Helping investors prepare their portfolios and capture investment opportunities on the path to net zero is one of our greatest responsibilities. BlackRock is proud to put its name behind this initiative, and I am encouraged to see the increasing momentum towards net zero across the public and private sectors. And so if this isn't any more obvious of where we're headed, I don't know what is. And if Bitcoin and its energy consumption isn't on board with what the mainstream narrative agenda is, then it's gonna be outlawed. I mean, we see Ray Dalio having his input about it, and I've done a video on it, and you can go ahead and check it out. But this narrative just doesn't fit Bitcoin's energy consumption, and at some point, the roads are gonna cross, and people are gonna have to make a decision, or maybe they won't even have to make a decision because the laws will make it for them. But investors will be put in between a rock and a hard place. And so, like Jim Rogers says, if you're in that parade of Bitcoin, he's not in it, but he says, I hope you get out in time. So, buyers beware. And John Deaton gave a quick update on the SEC's letter to Judge Torres objecting our motion to intervene. And he's saying it's the most misleading letter he's ever submitted to a court. Oh, that he's ever read that was submitted to a court. And the SEC attorney wrote, Motivant's primary motivation appears to be to reinstate speculative trading of XRP on digital asset platforms so that movements may sell XRP or to other investors at a profit. To support his claim, attorney Netzero takes a shot at him, John Deaton, and informs the court that, as Movement Deaton has stated elsewhere, the purpose of relisting appears to be so that XRP's price could double. Netzero is clearly trying to make me look bad by claiming that my motivation in seeking to intervene is for profit taking. When I read that, I said to myself, I don't talk about the price of XRP. What is he talking about? The truth is, I never said the purpose of relisting was for price appreciation or anything close to that. But that's what he's claiming I said. I looked it up. The comment that I made was over the likelihood of whether the SEC would inform exchanges that they could relist. What I actually said was, do you really believe that the SEC is going to make it clear that the exchanges can relist and trade XRP when it could double the price, and then Ripple could have twice the money to defend the case against the SEC? Okay, and he has a quote here of what he said exactly from the article. I could give other examples about misleading the court, like how he claims a large class of investors in a class action will cause an avalanche of other XRP holders seeking intervention, but it's really only 5 people. A week or so ago, people were commenting about the quality of lawyers in this case. I made the comment that a good prosecutor can be competitive, but ultimately seeks truth and justice and doesn't succumb to a win at all costs approach. It appears that the desire to win is driving the SEC attorney, and it's not mandated mission. And so that's a quick breakdown of what the current SEC lawyer sent to Judge Torres in the objection for our motion to intervene in the case. And I'm telling you, things are getting a little spicy around here. And I think that time will tell. I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, and pay attention to the current mainstream narratives because they might play a role in the future. And this SEC lawsuit is getting interesting. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.